God. I love you, Quentin.
From Los Angeles. And Quentin Tarantino asks, name one song when it comes on the radio you sing along to, but you are embarrassed that you like it so nobody knows.
Oh, I don't want to hurt her feelings, because she's lovely. That Taylor Swift song, You Belong With Me, oh my God, when it comes on the radio, I sing it so loud, and I'm so embarrassed, because I so freely sing it so loud. But she's a lovely girl, and she's very sweet, and what can you do? And it's a great song. You can't help.
Well, I think maybe it's because you sing it so loud that you're embarrassed, rather than the song.
The song's, yeah, it's not a bad song.
I've heard the song, actually. I think it's a great song.
It's a great song. I think it's just because it's very kind of whimsical in a way that I'm not necessarily whimsical every day. And when it comes on, I just get this
release.
Yeah, I want to sing it. Every woman feels that way.
Fab. Okay.
So I didn't mean that in a bad way, Taylor. I think you're lovely and
I don't think it came through bad at all.
You're a great songwriter.
I don't think it came through badly at all. The next question is by Ethan from Fort Worth. And Ethan's question is, what do you think is the biggest misconception about you?
That I'm a character, or that Gaga is separate from Stephanie. We are one and the same. There is no difference. I am exactly who I say I am. And I'm exactly who you say I am.
Fabulous.
Would you say that's the biggest misconception about me? I think that's the biggest misconception.
I think there were a lot of questions people were asking about the difference between you and how you prefer to be addressed and things like that. And even I wasn't sure how you would prefer to be addressed when
Well, I prefer Gaga only because everyone calls me Gaga now, even like my mother. But when people call me Stephanie, I'm not like, oh, don't call me that.
Maybe as well it links to what you were saying before, the idea that you were quite guarded and you've opened up a little bit.
I've opened up much. I used to get so angry when I would sit down in an interview and someone would say, hello, Stephanie. I'm almost like, you fucking disregard everything I've ever done and all my work, and you just want to get to know the real me, which means you know nothing about what I do and have no understanding. I have fully committed myself to what I do and what I create, and Gaga is my nickname. Gaga is my Gaga freed me from the limits and the chains of what I was before I was able to be free and be confident and reject all of the perceptions about a woman and what she should be. Gaga was for me a metaphorical quest to myself. So I would never say that one name is more like me than the other. They're both exactly who I am. I am one person. I might have several personalities, certainly, and I'm probably slightly schizophrenic, but that's me.
Fantastic. Okay, the next question is by Eddie Sleman.
Eddie!
Eddie's question,
Eddie.
Eddie's question
I love Eddie
is...
so much.
Eddie's question's quite complex.
I'm sure it is. Thank you, Eddie.
I hope I've got the wording of it correct. Eddie's question is, let's talk about the discrepancy between your private and your public lives. Where is the line? When is the precise second when it switches? Do you feel the need to take a deep breath and do the thing? Or does it always feel like you're on stage? I hope I've got the gist of what he wanted to ask.
I know exactly what he's asking me. Well, there's two parts to that question. The first part, in the way, is the discrepancy between the private and the public life. One, in many ways, I believe as an artist that being private in public is at the core of the aesthetic or the message. However, I profusely lie about my personal relationships in an effort to protect that aesthetic and that message. Because today, people are distracted by unimportant things. Like, for example, what my diet is, or who I'm fucking. Now, the second part of the question said, when is the precise moment when it switches? I would like to be able to say that when there is a dick inside me, that the moment switches, but it doesn't always. I'll be honest. Sometimes it doesn't, and I do quite often feel like I'm on stage all the time. And I also persistently believe that life is a stage and that life is my stage on which to be an artist. When I'm sleeping, it is an art. When I am dancing, when I'm singing, when I'm making breakfast. But there is a moment of freedom where somehow the stage disappears.
And when's that? Is it precise, or is it kind of a changing moment every now and again?
When I cry. I would have to say most honestly when I cry. Whether I'm on stage or off stage, or alone or with someone, almost instantly when I cry, the stage disappears. Even when I cry on stage with my fans, somehow it becomes
About you.
a living room, and it's not a stage anymore. And there's something very honest. But it has nothing to do with taking off a wig or smearing my lipstick. It doesn't even have anything to do with whether or not I've had an orgasm. It's much deeper than that. So, Eddie, I don't know if I asked your impossibly difficult and deep, in-depth question, but I appreciate it and I love you, and I would expect nothing but that from Eddie.
Fantastic. I think maybe it goes a little bit lighter after Eddie's question.
Eddie's great. I knew he would.
And it does. Our next question is by Surabhi in India. And their question is, what did you wear to your prom?
I wore a black car wash dress. It was made out of chiffon, wrapped around like a black tube dress. And then it was very, very short, and then it had these long black strips, like in a car wash.
Oh, yeah, like what you walk, your car goes through the strips?
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Very long, lots of them. And at the end, it faded into gray of it. It was great. I think it was $300. I remember it was so expensive, and my mother was screaming, and I have to have it, it's perfect. And all the girls are wearing, and I was so upset, and it was so, $300, we were like, my mother was like, not a chance am I buying that for you? And I begged her and begged her.